It's November, and it's time to harvest some beets. Let's go. So you might remember I planted these beets in early September, and it was part of an ongoing mission that I had to try multiple season harvests. I'd done this with lettuce already this year, where I sowed lettuce in spring, summer, and fall. And I wanted to see if I could do the same with beets. Now, beets take about 60 days to mature, so I knew that I couldn't get 3 successions of beets, but I wanted to try to get 2 at least. And so what I did was I really pushed the limits of my beet, harvest, and I harvested them as early as I could so I get a second succession in the ground. Because with about 115 days of growing season here in Michigan, and these taking about 120 days minimum to be fully mature, I knew that time was of the essence. And so I don't really know what's here. I haven't really checked them that much. We've just been so busy, but I really needed to get them out of the ground. And I wanted to see what I got and see if we had success. September is typically not it's not a great time to be planting beets because there's just not a whole lot of time left in the growing season where weather is warm, where they're going to grow fast and produce well. Ideally, I probably would have liked to plant them in like mid to late August at least. So we grew 3 different varieties of beets. It's not too bad for a beet. That's gonna pickle up real nicely actually. But we grew 3 different types of beets. We grew the Early Wonder Tall Top because it has the earliest maturation date. And then we also grew the Bull's Blood, and we grew the Detroit Dark Red. So they're kind of all intermixed here. I kind of just mixed the seed up and threw it in. But I will say I'm not quite seeing as large of beets as I would like. There are, like I said, there are some decent sized beets in here. Obviously some of these ones that I'm pulling up are obviously the bigger of the bunch. But you can't complain with anything. This was obviously an experiment, and I just wanted to kind of see what would happen. So we're still getting nice sized beets. I'm not complaining about that at all. I actually don't really love huge beets. They typically get a little bit woodier than I would like when they get big. So I do like them smaller. They pickle up nicely. But I definitely think from what I'm seeing, oh, there's a nice one. There we go. It's a little bit of a improvement there. So it's got a lot of dirt on it, but obviously you can see not a bad beet. Not a bad beet for not that long of a growing season. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's getting better. It's getting better. We're still not huge, but it's not terrible by any means. But there is a lot of small beets in here. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. Hey. Check that out. That's a nice size beet. That's a really nice size beet. In fact, it's a really good size beet. This is about as perfect as they get right here. So that is awesome. If only I knew what this variety is. I believe, I'll tell you. So this is Bull's Blood. Bull's Blood has a red leaf. Early Wonder Tall Top has very few leaves, and they are very tall. That's why it got its name. Very, very tall. And Detroit Dark Red actually has a lot larger of a leaf. Here's one right here. And they're a little bit darker purple, a little more spear-shaped. So this is the Detroit Dark Red, and this is the Early Wonder Tall Top, which would confirm my suspicions that planting an earlier maturing beet obviously was better for a second succession. Just things that you learn. It also would appear as if a certain part of this bed has bigger beets. And it's odd because it's this side of the bed. Like I said, I mixed all the seed together and I just sporadically spread them throughout. But wow. It's incredible. These beets over here on this third of the bed have been 50 to 75% larger than anything over on this side of the bed. Check this out. Yeah, see, it's just so weird. There's just not a lot of beet formation on this side, which is just really, really strange. So, if I'm being honest, I think the rest are pretty much, yeah, the rest are pretty much going to be composted. I don't really have a need for these greens here. They've been pretty chewed up. We have lettuce still growing in our lettuce bed, and we got minutina here. So I don't really need the beet greens. They are edible and they're very delicious, but once they've kind of gotten beat up like these ones have, they've just, I mean, there's really not a nice one to even show you. But I did get a lot out of this space that I'm really happy with, that I'll be able to use in the kitchen and be able to preserve for the winter season. Now, the question is, would I do this again? I wouldn't do it the same again, but I would do it again. That's the difference. So I would definitely plant a fall crop of beets. It's very challenging in Michigan to get 2 harvests of beets with the growing season we have. It just is very, very challenging. So I would do it again, but I would either plant a little bit earlier, not quite in September. I'd probably plant in mid to late August would probably been the most ideal time. So there's still some more warm weather to get them up, get them growing, get them maturing. And then I'd have much larger and a lot more of them. But then also I would probably plant more of the early wonder tall top. I think if I had a personal preference, I would plant the Detroit dark red and the bull's blood because they're healthier, they're more rich in antioxidants. But when it comes to size, at the end of the season, if you're short on time and you're not sure if you're going to have enough days to fully mature a longer maturing beet like those others, the early wonder tall top is definitely not something that I would not plant again. It's proven to be the largest of the 3 that I planted, and consistently it was the largest. So yeah, obviously the proof's in the pudding there. So did we do it? Yes. Did we have as much success as I thought? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into in the first place. It was really just an experiment. So I guess it was, yes, it was successful. But with us throwing out this many, I think it could have been more successful. There's always room for improvement, right? So I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. Make sure to hit that like button. It really helps our channel grow. It helps these videos get out to more people. I hope that you are taking something from these videos as well and growing big or going home with them. And as always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow big or go home. Catch you all later. See ya.